Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Anchorage, Alaska College and Career Fair. We've got an exciting session today, a couple great presenters, a few housekeeping items before we turn it over to our first presenter. Note that your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists aren't able to see or hear you. If you have questions, you can go ahead and type them to the presenters at any time using the Q&A feature. Also note that we have additional sessions and institutions that you can come on and see, visit with. So if you have interest in one of those, sign up for the session at the StriveScan website. Also note that we are recording the session and it will be posted to strivescan.com/Alaska when ready. So again, we've got a couple great presenters. Gary's going to start us out.
All right, hey, thanks again. Let me get this here for you, see if I can do this. My technical training. Let's see. There we go, okay. So just to let you know, I'm Major Retired Gary Grennan. I'm one of the West Point representatives. I have with me tonight, help me out, Lieutenant Colonel Retired Russ Howell. Now, I'm going to talk about both the Army's military opportunities and I'll go into West Point also. Just remember, if you have any questions on West Point, I got the bottom of this slide. It says, just Google West Point or go to westpointadmissions.edu. It's pretty simple and you can answer all your questions. But I'll go over some things on the military. And there's the two people, and this is just the biggest service to the smaller services. This is approximately how many specialties they have. Army's got about 400. Air Force, a little smaller, is 200. Navy, probably the second largest, 300. And they have ratings in there, and you'll probably have to ask a little bit on the Coast Guard. I know what that does, but I might not be right on the money. Coast Guard's got about 100 different specialties, and the Marines about 100 also. All right. So that's generally what a young high school student, junior, senior is looking at. And the main thing you want to do, you have to pick out what you want to do based on your military score on the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery of Tests. Minimum score for everybody is 31. I think the Coast Guard now starts you off, you have to have a 40, and the maximum score you could get is 99. There's books available in your libraries. You can go to the bookstore, Barnes & Noble, and buy one, but that'll set you on track. There's a program on Google, March to Success, and that'll help you out. But you want to get the best score you can. You can take it a number of times, but still, you have to wait in between the many more times you take it. Now, officer opportunities. Here's the one, military academies. That's like I said, I represent West Point. Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps. That's at the colleges. The ROTC, the Senior ROTC, and Officer Candidate School, and all the services, all their officers are required to have 4-year degrees. Now, there are the small colleges where they get 2-year degrees and they get commissioned to lieutenant, but those people have to finish up within 6 years, I think, a 4-year degree. So if you're interested. So here's what I suggest you do. Study before you take the ASVAB. Talk to your recruiter, of course, first, but they'll give you a little practice test, but study and take it to get your best score. For the academies, the next step, junior year, you can open a file at the academies. You'll have to have your social security number to get on there and prove you're a US citizen, but you're talking about, these scholarships are worth $400,000. By senior year, January senior year, you got to finish your main part of your application, after which you take a physical. Senior ROTC, 4-year scholarship. That's what you're going to try for. And usually you submit that same thing at the beginning of usually your senior year, end of your junior year, start the information. But pick a field that you want and pick a field that you know there's going to be job opportunities. That's what I'm going to tell you. All right. Move on. Requirements for West Point, just to let you know. All right. And I've had, I felt bad. I had a married couple show up one time. I had to tell them, sorry, we don't have married couples, but you have to be at least 17, not 23, the day you report into West Point. That's normally by 1 July of your year that you're going into college there. U.S. citizen, like I said, not be married, not be pregnant or legally responsible for any children, okay? Because you're dedicated, because when you get out, you're going to get a 5-year job at one of the military army posts. So just to let you know. But this is interesting. In the old days, you used to only have like 2 majors. You were a civil engineer or mechanical engineer. Now they have 36 majors. Everybody finishes up with a Bachelor of Science when you graduate, but you can concentrate in these areas and take a look at them. And if you, like I said, if you go to that West Point website, you can find all these, but I just thought I might show them to you. Anywhere, chemical engineering, of course, the newest one, and it's not, and it's added on here. Of course, you've got the cyber, you also have the environmental science. Foreign area studies is still a big one also. You get go out to Monterey and go to Language Institute, go to school. And here's the other ones. Like I said, they still have mechanical engineering and nuclear engineering science, mainly the STEM part, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's what a lot of these majors concentrate on, but you do have liberal arts in there also. You do have, you can get a history degree too, or history concentration. That's what we call it. All right. So here's what the board that looks at your records is going to take a look at. You have applications, 12,000 to 18,000 people competing for 1,400 at West Point every year. So you want to have at least, to get that perfect 60 out of 60 points, you know, that SAT is as high as you can get it. You can take it as many times as you want, but the highest score they'll take. Minimum, like I said, 1,200 probably is a good one to start with. If you get that perfect 1,600, that'd be great too. ACT minimum 25, and I suggest you take the ACT because that has a written portion. The SAT doesn't have that anymore. So, because otherwise they're gonna grade you on, to put you in your English studies, whatever you write your thing on why I want to get into West Point. So, and then your high school grades. Now, 10% of their evaluation on you is a candidate fitness assessment. And it's very important to understand that may say 10%, but you're not getting in any academy unless you pass that CFA. And you can practice for it. It is online with the videos. There's 6 different events. You know, and there's one, the basketball throw, which you've probably never done before unless you've been in junior ROTC or something, from your knees at the basketball court. But all that testing your upper body strength and your endurance. So you have to pass that. All right. But you can practice for it too. Some of us will give you a practice test if you want. Now, the other 30% leadership in organizations, they want to see that you're a leader. The captain, you know, of any team or any club is very important. And also you're going to have recommendations from your teachers. And that's, you want to have your best teachers. They're going to ask you for a math teacher, usually a science teacher, the physical fitness coach. They're going to ask for that also. And if you want to know about the academy, about West Point, usually every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook at the West Point admissions page, they have a briefing, and it's given by one of the people who's responsible for an area. We're in the Northwest here in Alaska, and a cadet who's going through right now. So you can listen to it, like I said, every Wednesday, and you can go back in the files. I went back today and looked at a presentation just before 2 weeks ago, the Air Force Army game. They had a presenter, 2 presenters, and it was very well done. So you can look at that, and that'll give you all the information. A lot more slides than I'm going to show you today. But it's important. If you're interested, it's up to you. You know, you got to want to go to this. For a $400,000 scholarship, you're going to have to put a little more work in than most scholarships will require you. So what do you do to get ahead? I suggest there's a summer leadership experience at all the academies. You do have to pay to go there. It's a week's worth. They do the STEM, but you also at West Point, you get to fire like machine guns and things like that. And a lot of people really like that stuff. And I enjoyed it too. They do math courses out there while you're there, and a little bit of chemistry. But while you're in high school, I suggest you take the hard courses, the math and physics, chemistry, and excel in them. If there's a speed reading course or something which will increase your reading comprehension, the more efficient you are, the better you do on all these tests, ASVAB included. All right. And the last thing to let you remember, you can't be 23 and attend the academy. So you have a few years after high school, 17 to usually 22, and you can get in there. But it's important. You start January of junior year and finish up the paperwork by January of senior year. And this is in the end, here's what you get. The graduation, you see them all. Now we got a few, these guys are a little higher up than normally because there's 2 generals on each end. And I think that's the Lady Commandant, who's a 1-star also in there. But your achievement can be unbelievable. And you can go as far as you want. You get out and be corporate, but remember, everybody's required. There's a 5-year commitment of active duty, and then another 3 years in the reserves. But and you can get out after 5 years and go for any corporation. So that's all for me. Is it Dave, right?
Gary, you got it. We're going to move on to Christina.
That's right. I'm finished. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry, I don't have any slides today. I just wanted to go over some of the benefits of the Alaska Air National Guard. I guess I'll start with a little bit about myself. My name is Tech Sergeant Christina Elliott. I've been in the Air National Guard for 21 years now. I am from Anchorage, Alaska. I went to Service High School. I was part of their NJROTC program. When I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to go to college, but I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for that. So I started looking at other opportunities to be able to pay for high school. And that's what led me to look into the Air National Guard. When I joined the Guard in 2000, I decided I wanted to go into security forces, which was a lot of fun. After a year, I decided to move down to Oregon. And after about 4 years, I came back to Alaska. I then decided I wanted to cross train, and I became a C-17 loadmaster. I did that for about 9 years, which I think is one of the best jobs you could do in the Air National Guard, is to be an enlisted flyer. I got to see a lot of things around the world. I worked in the finance office for a couple years, and then I became a recruiter just about 1.5 years ago. Like I said, the reason why I joined the Air National Guard is because of the education benefits that they had to offer. Right now, we're offering tuition assistance, which is paid to the University of Alaska up to 12 credits per semester for undergraduate studies, and up to 6 credits per semester for graduate studies. We also offer a GI Bill and a kicker that you can get on top of your tuition assistance, which Alaska offers 100%. So they're going to pay 100% of your tuition, and you can get the Montgomery GI Bill on top of that. The basic is $369 a month. And then depending on the career field that you go into, it could be another $350 for the kicker. Another great thing that the Guard offers is they pay for CLEP and Dantes, which are classes that you can test out of. So you don't have to pay for a class. You can actually take a test and see that you don't need to take that class. You can just get credit for it. And that actually speeds up your education. So you can get a degree faster. A lot of the training that you'll receive at basic training will also count towards credits towards a community college of the Air Force degree. So every AFSC, which is the job that you do in the Air National Guard, the training that you receive will count towards receiving a 2-year degree. Another one of the benefits that I take advantage of is the medical and dental benefits. We offer TRICARE Reserve Select and dental insurance. So we have a couple different statuses that you can go into. You can be a drill status guardsman, which means you do the 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. Or you can apply for full-time positions, which is like being active duty, but you're in the Air National Guard and they do not PCS you. You will stay in that position where you applied for that job. So right now I'm full-time and I will never leave Anchorage, Alaska, which is a great opportunity. And we also have civilian jobs. But you do need to be in the Air National Guard to apply for these civilian jobs. But back to the medical benefits, TRICARE Reserve Select is an insurance policy that you can pay for monthly. And it covers, when I did it, it covered up to 80% of my medical expenses up to $1,000. And then after that, it was 100%. But it does depend on who you go to. The cost for this is about $48 per individual or $98 for a family. And if you know how much it costs to pay for medical insurance right now, that's actually a very good premium. Dental insurance runs anywhere from $12 to $36, depending on an individual or a family. Our wing has about 75 different enlisted positions that you could go into. And the mission for our wing is basically special radar tracking. We also have disaster relief and search and rescue with PJs. So anytime somebody gets stranded out on one of the mountains or their boat sinks and they call for help, it's either the Coast Guard or the pararescue from the 176 wing that show up to help them out. To join the Air National Guard, your initial enlistment is going to be 6 years. You do need to be between the ages of 17 and 39 if you're non-prior service. If you're prior service, we just want to make sure that you have enough time to hit 60 years old and have done 20 years. You do need a high school diploma or a GED. With a high school diploma, you need an ASVAB score of 31 or higher. And with a GED, you do need a ASVAB score of 50. And basically no major law violations or felonies. So I can't think of anything else I'd like to cover. I appreciate your guys' time. And if you're interested in joining the Air National Guard, I can give you my phone number or email address.
Christina, thank you so much. If you want to go ahead, maybe throw that information into the chat there. There's an
Okay.
option there to send it to the presenters as well as the attendees. So go ahead and do that and we'll move on to Tony.
All right, can everybody see my screen there?
Sure can, Tony.
All right, sweet, thank you. So good evening, everybody. I am Lieutenant Commander Tony Baruso. I'm a 2010 Coast Guard Academy grad, ship driver by trade. I was a government major at the Academy and a football player, but currently I am the recruiting chief in the Academy admissions office. So I'm just here to provide kind of an overview of the Coast Guard Academy, which you can see a picture of here. 103-acre campus in New London, Connecticut, on the bank of the Thames River. So first, I want to just share some information about the Coast Guard itself as a service, since it's a little different from the other armed services, and it will be the service that you enter on completion of your time at the Academy. So you'll incur that 5-year commitment in the Coast Guard itself. So we are one of the 6 U.S. Armed Services, but we do reside in the Department of Homeland Security, so not the Department of Defense, which gives us kind of some significantly different missions and legal authorities, including a humanitarian focused mission set and some unique law enforcement authorities as well. And we have a kind of an everyday tangible impact around the globe, as well as directly in the communities that we serve. So here we have the Academy's 9 academic majors, along with the Coast Guard's roles and missions. So as you can see, like some of the other academies, we are STEM focused, which is something I'll talk about a little bit more later when we talk about academic preparation. But suffice it to say, we're consistently ranked in the top engineering programs, most innovative schools, and best overall colleges in our region. We have state-of-the-art facilities, unique internships and experiences in every major. And we're also smaller sized, which allows for personalized attention and learning from our top-notch faculty. So whichever one of those 9 majors you choose, you'll receive a Bachelor of Science degree upon graduation. So I was a government major, humanities major, but still receive a Bachelor of Science just based on the courses that we take. And upon graduation, you'll be fully prepared to begin that 5-year service commitment, carrying out one of those exciting missions that you see on the right with that humanitarian focus. So 85% of the people who graduate the Coast Guard Academy will go on to some graduate degree program that the Coast Guard will pay for. And also 85% of those graduates from the Academy will end up staying past the 5-year service commitment. So we're pretty proud of that retention rate. And we feel that it reflects the job satisfaction that Coast Guard officers get every day from leading great people and carrying out exciting and rewarding missions alongside their Academy graduate peers and classmates. So just a fun fact, that ship at the bottom is Coast Guard Cutter Mustang, 110-foot patrol boat out of Seward, Alaska. That's us in front of Holgate Glacier out there in Seward. We're operating there with a Coast Guard helicopter conducting a search and rescue mission. And that was back when I was captain of that ship. So the past 2 years before I got to this job in New London, Connecticut, I was out in Seward as the captain of the Mustang, having an impact on that community locally, the state of Alaska, and the country as a whole. And I'm an Alaska resident now, thanks to the Coast Guard. I've done enough time up there that we ended up buying a house and plan to go back there whenever my time in the service is done. And that's also a testament to how the Coast Guard entrusts significant responsibility in its officers from a young age to prepare them for those command opportunities early in their career. And that's some of the training that you'll get at the Academy as well. So here's a list of our athletic programs, including varsity, club, and intramural sports. We also have a long list of cadet clubs, affinity councils, and other groups that serve to maximize the strength of our diverse cadet corps and take advantage of what everybody's bringing to the table here. And to start a club, if you don't see something on here that you're interested in, all you need is a group of interested cadets and a faculty sponsor, and you're good to go. So we are primarily an NCAA Division III varsity program, but we do compete at the D1 level in sailing specifically. All right, so leadership and professional development. This is woven throughout every area of your Academy experience all 4 years. For leadership development, we have an on-campus leadership think tank essentially called the Institute for Leadership, and they manage the entire leadership curriculum throughout your 4 years at the Academy. The Cadet Corps is entrusted with the responsibility of leading itself, which means your responsibilities as a leader will increase as you graduate through the academy ranks. It's also woven into classroom settings, guest speakers, informal and formal discussions, interactions with dedicated active duty Coast Guard officers and enlisted members who are assigned to each company, and most importantly, during your summer experiences. And then the professional development program runs alongside that leadership development program. So we have state-of-the-art simulators, training vessels on the academy waterfront, and Coast Guard operational experiences to prepare you for your duties upon graduation, and to ensure you receive professional certification as a licensed 100-ton master, which every cadet will receive upon graduation. And then obviously the most recognizable place that you may know of where all of these things intersect is aboard America's tall ship, the Coast Guard Cutter Eagle. You can see that listed at the bottom of the slide there, and head on to our website for some more information about Eagle and where she is and what she's doing. So shifting gears now to applicants and applications. What are service academies looking for? Specifically the Coast Guard Academy, but a lot of this stuff carries over to the other service academies as well. To put it simply, as the slide notes, we're looking for leaders of character who have the potential to excel and serve their country as future military officers. So we'll look at your academics, obviously, to see that you've taken the most challenging courses available, performed well, and have a STEM foundation to prepare you for baseline courses at the academy. So for us, we're really looking for calculus, chemistry, and physics, seeing those on your transcript and getting that comfort level that you're going to be okay here academically during your freshman year, which is probably the most difficult, the most hectic, most demands on your time. So if you're doing well in those subjects, then we're not worried about you, struggling academically that first year here. So then obviously we'll look for signs of leadership potential and commitment to serve within your extracurricular activities. So, we're not looking for any specific thing. You don't have to be an Eagle Scout. You don't have to do Civil Air Patrol. You don't have to be a Sea Scout. Whatever you're passionate about, do that thing and, seek leadership opportunities within that field, whether it's, you're an employee at McDonald's and you manage a shift. Anything from that to Eagle Scout is fine with us, as long as you can articulate the leadership experiences and philosophies and discussions that you've had as a result of that experience. And then finally, we'll look at your overall physical fitness. I'll talk about physical fitness exam a little bit later here. And then your ability to impact any of our athletic programs or club programs. That will obviously dovetail with if you're getting recruited for an athletic program or a music program, that will go into your application file as well. So that's kind of the three pillars of what we look for in an applicant. And that should kind of tell you not only what we're looking for, but what areas you want to be focusing on in preparation to apply if that's what you're planning to do. So the application itself, all Service Academy applications are pretty much 100% online. Similar documentation is required for all of them. So typically you can send things to multiple academies at the same time, depending on what particular item of the application it is. But we'll ask you for basic information as well as a series of required and optional personal statements, letters of recommendation as well. So for the Coast Guard Academy, required letters of recommendation are a math teacher, an English teacher, a high school counselor who can provide school information and an official transcript, and then your physical fitness exam administrator counts as that fourth required letter of recommendation. There are two optional ones as well, along with several optional personal statements. The option to upload a resume. I would highly recommend taking advantage of those optional items, as it shows us that you are committed to the application process and it provides us more information about you. So, the more information we have, the more data points we have on you, the better informed decision that we can make about your appointment and application. So there's also potential for an interview, not a guarantee, but we typically reach out to those people that we would like to find more information about and try to interview as many people as we possibly can. Just for Coast Guard Academy in particular, there are no minimum scores, and we are also standardized test optional for this application cycle. So just keep that in mind when you're applying. If you do want your application to be reviewed without test scores, we just ask that you upload a statement to your application noting that, so that we know to put your application through the review process without those scores. We all require a fitness evaluation of some kind. The other academies use the CFA, we use the physical fitness exam or the PFE. So for us, it's a 1.5 mile run, cadence push-ups, and 2-minute sit-ups. So that'll be all that information is on our website. There's a whole manual telling you how to do the exam, a sound file for the cadence push-ups, which are a little different than what you might be used to. So definitely some things to work towards and train for as you're preparing to apply. And let's see what else. The medical process is run through the DoD Medical Examination Review Board, or DODMERB, for all academies. So that process will run kind of independently of the application process, but then that kind of gets tacked on at the end, whether you're medically qualified or not. If you've received an appointment and you're not medically qualified, then we would go through the waiver process typically, and I can explain more about that if people have specific questions. And then one kind of unique thing about the Coast Guard Academy is we do not require a congressional nomination. So you will see us at those congressional nomination events, but we do not require one. So that process is not involved for the Coast Guard Academy. So anyone can apply, no congressional nomination required. And then on the right side of the slide there, you can see our general deadline key dates. These don't change a whole lot throughout different application cycles. So we do have an early action period where October 15th will be that deadline, and then you'll get a decision for early action from us by December 23rd. That is non-binding, so you still have until May 1st to accept that appointment or not. So really all the benefit is for you in that early action process, just getting the decision earlier. And then regular admission January 15th, you'll get a decision by April 1st. And again, everyone needs to let us know if they're going to accept their appointments by May 1st. And then you'll report here if you're applying this cycle, June 27th, if you get an appointment for day one of your swab summer, as we call it. So lastly, just some action items for you all. Meet your admissions officer. So that's number one, first and foremost. We have 5 regional admissions officers that cover the entire United States. So check out our website, find your admissions officer and meet them. For Alaska, it's Lieutenant Junior Grade John Hu. You'll see him on our website, and his contact information is there along with his bio and mine as well. I definitely take a special interest in the Alaska crowd just because it's been my most enjoyable part of my Coast Guard service up in Alaska, and I'm an Alaska resident now. So definitely feel free to reach out to me as well. If you're a high school senior, obviously apply if you're interested in the Coast Guard Academy. If you're a junior, check out the AIM summer program. So that application will open in February, and the program itself will be in July of next summer, a 1-week kind of full immersion in the Coast Guard Academy / Service Academy experience in general to see if it's right for you. And then we're doing in-person and virtual events this fall, and we'll be doing more in the spring. So definitely check out our website, look at our calendar, and sign up for an event. And you can also check out a virtual campus or career tour if you're not able to make it out here yourself in person. So with that, I will pass it over to the next presenter here. And thanks for listening. Looking forward to answering any questions you have.
Tony, thanks so much. We're on to our next presenter, Will.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'll pull up my screen here. All right, how's that looking for everyone?
Looking good. Can see it clearly.
Okay. So my name is Lieutenant Will Brickham, U.S. Navy Reserve. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Today I'm talking about California State University Maritime Academy. We like to call it Cal Maritime for short. I am an alumni of Cal Maritime, obviously a lieutenant in the Navy. I'm actually recalled to active duty right now as part of the Department of Naval Science that we have on campus. Normally in my civilian career, I work as a merchant mariner. So I've worked on all kinds of different types of ships out at sea, oil tankers, heavy lift ships, car carriers, and most recently, the last 5 or 6 years, I've been working for Washington State Ferries. So I'm a captain for them in Puget Sound. So obviously I graduated myself from Cal Maritime. That's how I kind of got into that line of business. And our school, we're kind of Best of both worlds, I guess you would say we are a CSU campus. So just like, San Jose State, San Diego State, we're part of that same system. We're not a military academy, so all of our students are not required to go into the military. We are a professional academy. Obviously, there are ways to go into the military through our school, and I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But our school is pretty small. It's only around 1,000 students, and we're very industry specific. So all of our concentration is on careers in the maritime industry. So working on the water or working close to the water in ports and terminals around the United States. Another awesome aspect of our school is we have a great international experience. So all of our students will go on internships while at the school. Most of those will be overseas, and most of them will go overseas every summer during college. We also have the highest employment rate in the CSU system. So 94% of our students have a job within 3 months of graduation. And we are also, our alumni are the highest paid alumni of any university, public or private. So you think about Berkeley, Stanford, all those other schools were the highest paid out of all those schools in the Western United States. So one of the awesome aspects of our school is we're a maritime academy. So it's all water-based. You spend a lot of your time on the water. It can be anything from small whaleboats like this to our larger vessels, our tugboats, and our other little training vessels that we have in our boat basin. And then in the background, you can see there our training ship. We've got the training ship Golden Bear, which is a 500-foot training ship that we go out on every summer for our training cruises. And I've got a little video here that I'd like to show you, which just kind of goes over what that experience is like for the cadets. Sorry about that.
I've always dreamt to travel. Why should we die where we were? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Some roads are laid with gravel. Sometimes you gotta build your road. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Now wanna tear down boundaries. I wanna greet my enemies. I wanna see what
So it's pretty awesome international experience that you can have at our school. Me personally, while I was at the academy, I think I went about 16 or 17 different countries in the 4 years during my undergrad. So I mentioned before that our school is really maritime specific, really small, really focused. We only offer 7 degree options at our school. Some of the ones there you'll notice with the little asterisk mark, those are our license track majors. So those ones, not only will you get your bachelor's degree, but you'll also get a what we call a Coast Guard license. First one up there is marine transportation. That's the major that I pursued. On the right-hand side next to the major, you see what the kind of career aspect or what kind of profession you can expect to pursue with that degree. So marine transportation is studying how to navigate a ship and how to handle cargo, and ultimately work your way up to becoming the ship's captain. Our marine engineering technology degree, that is working down in the engine room. So our ships are kind of a self-contained system. We've got our own power, our own heating, electricity, plumbing, all that stuff. And that's what our MET majors learn to study. So they're kind of working to become a ship's chief engineer, so in charge of an entire ship's engineering plant. We also have a facilities engineering technology degree, working shoreside, maintaining power plants and hospital facilities and things like that. Mechanical engineering, which is kind of like your conventional ME program at a normal college, but ours is maritime specific. So you can become a ship's chief engineer or work shoreside with that degree. Some of our unlicensed majors, we like to call them, where you don't receive your Coast Guard license. We have our international business and logistics degree, which focuses on maritime business, global studies and maritime affairs. And our newest major is oceanography. So our admissions requirements fall really in line with most of the other Cal State universities. So for you students up in Alaska, it's a 3.0 cumulative GPA for our A through G courses, which you can find listed there. Language, math, English, all those can be found in the Cal State Apply website. We get a ton of students at our school from Alaska, obviously, with the fishing industry and the maritime industry up there. So you'll find a lot of your Alaskan classmates that be going to school down here with you. So I mentioned that the school itself is not a military academy, but we offer a number of military programs on campus. The one that I received my commission through is the Strategic Sea Lift Officer program. So we are a unique program in that we commission our officers into the reserve instead of active duty. So it's a great opportunity to serve part-time and continue to pursue your civilian career. So what we do for the Navy is we provide maritime expertise in what we study at the school. So the Navy really has a specialty in war fighting. So you can think about combat ships and aircraft carriers and stuff like that, but they don't really know much about merchant shipping, like container ships and oil tankers and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we do for the Navy. We maintain our civilian careers, so we're working in the maritime industry and working our way up to becoming captains and chief engineers of merchant ships. And then we complete our 2 weeks of active duty per year for the Navy. So our midshipmen, we've got around 50 midshipmen in our program. They do commission into the reserve, but they can also they can seek an active duty commission in any branch of the armed forces. So you're not just limited to the Navy. One of the benefits of our SSO program on campus is the student incentive payment program. So although you're not going to receive a full funded scholarship like you would for active duty, our reserve commissioning receives a $32,000 scholarship. And that's awarded only to the members of our program, which can be used for tuition, uniforms, books, and subsistence. So that's all I've got for you guys. If you have any questions, I've got my email address, and our school webpage specifically for the SSO program is just csum.edu/SSOP. And I'll drop all that info in the chat. Thank you.
Will, thank you so much. And we thank all of our panelists today for the great information, their enthusiasm as well. This will conclude today's session. I want to ask our attendees to go ahead and fill out the quick 5-question survey on the StriveScan website. Again, another reminder that we have some additional institutions, academies. If you're interested in learning more, go to the StriveScan website. And then lastly, a reminder that the recording of this session will be posted at strivescan.com/Alaska. Once again, thanks to all of our attendees, our panelists. Hope everyone has a great day.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
All right.